And now it's time for Spotlight on the Saints. Remember, a saint is someone who lives a life that lets the sun shine through. Have you ever noticed someone who needed help? Maybe a homeless person pushing a shopping cart or holding a sign asking for help. I have. For a moment, you feel sad for them, maybe even say a quick prayer for them, but only for a moment. Soon you're paying attention to your own plans and forget the needs of what you just witnessed. Today we'll shine the spotlight on a woman who taught history at a private school for rich kids, but she couldn't forget all the people she saw around the school who needed help. Have you ever felt like you were just going through the motions in praying? Maybe you felt like your prayers were not getting any higher than the ceiling, or felt frustrated and disappointed that you couldn't generate the feelings of connection and peace that you felt when you first started praying. I have. Today we're going to shine the spotlight on a woman who felt like she'd been abandoned by God for 40 years when she prayed. But for 40 years she kept praying, and she kept acting on those prayers. Today we shine the spotlight on St. Teresa of Calcutta, whose feast day is September the 5th. Born to Albanian parents in what is now Macedonia, Teresa was the youngest of three children. Her family lived comfortably on her father's construction business and thrived. But all that changed following his unexpected death. At age 18, she entered the Loreto Sisters of Dublin. It was 1928 when she said goodbye to her mother for the final time and made her way to a new life in a new land. She entered the Loreto Novitiate in Darjeeling, India. There she chose the name of Teresa and prepared for a life of service. She was assigned to a high school for girls in Calcutta, where she taught history and geography to the daughters of the wealthy. But she could not escape the realities around her, the poverty, the suffering, the overwhelming numbers of destitute people. In 1946, Sister Teresa heard what she later explained as a call within a call. The message was clear. I was to lead the convent and help the poor while living among them. She also heard a call to give up her life with the Sisters of Loreto and instead to follow Christ into the slums and serve him among the poorest of the poor. She took a nursing course for several months. Then she returned to Calcutta, where she lived in the slums and opened a school for the poor children, dressed in a white sari and sandals, as she soon began to getting to know her neighbors, especially the poor and the sick, and getting to know their needs through the visits. Volunteers soon came to join her in the work. Some of them were even her former students. They became the core of the missionaries of charity. Others helped by donating food, clothing, supplies, and the use of buildings. As the order expanded, services were also offered to orphans, abandoned children, alcoholics, the aging, and street people. For the next 40 years, Mother Teresa worked tirelessly on behalf of the poor. Her love knew no bounds, nor did her energy, as she crisscrossed the globe pleading for support and inviting others to see the face of Jesus in the poorest of the poor. Jesus in a most disturbing disguise is how she put it. In 1979, she was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. And on September the 5th, 1997, God called her home. Mother Teresa of Calcutta, the tiny woman, is recognized throughout the world for her work among the poorest of the poor, was canonized in 2016 by Pope Francis. But so what now what? We don't look at the saints like you would look at a historical figure that would be on a history test. No, we look at the saints to learn what are the lessons of their lives and what do they have us to tell us about how we live our life today. Do I see the poor or do I look the other way? Does my sympathy just sit there or do I act? When I pray, I'm expecting an answer or hoping for a good feeling. Am I able to stay with prayer even when I don't receive those good feelings? Thanks for watching. My name is Dave, and I'm not in charge.